Welcome to our daily Anchor Spotify podcast live here in Cali, Colombia with your one and only life coach, Pheonia Laverne. It's going to be an exciting day today when we get to hear about our behavior. Stay tuned and get ready for life coach, Pheonia Laverne. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. You correcting your behavior and understanding how you can behave better. Join us right now. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Step by Step Life Coaching Center with life coach Pheonia Laverne. It's going to be a fantastic day. There's just nothing I can say. I'm excited about stepping out into the day that will just fill my heart with joy and fill my eyes with new vision and new hope and cause me to have a better outlook on life. Well, let's just jump right into the thought concept of today. And that thought concept of today is asking the question, how are you going to behave? Don't you want to change your behavior, or are you just particularly stuck in your habits or stuck in your normal way of doing things? How are you behaving? Do you have a monitoring system to determine if your morality and your behavior are lining up? Who has the ability to speak into your life and redirect those things that are wrong according to social norms? Do you have your own status quo bias? Do you make your own decision of what is good to you? Do you deny the laws that govern behavior? Do you have vices? Do you have weaknesses? Do you have flaws, shortcomings? Do you have limitation, or perhaps there are some imperfection parts of your life? To answer those questions, only you can do that. But I want to focus today on a particular scripture verse in the Bible that gives us some directive on that. And it comes out of Luke chapter 5, verse 36, and it reads like this. Then he spoke a parable to them. No one puts a piece from a new garment on an old one. Otherwise, the new makes a tear, and also the pieces that was taken out of the new does not match the old. And no one puts new wine into old wineskins, or else the new wine will burst the wineskins and be spilled, and the wineskins will be ruined. But new wine must be put into new wineskins, and both are preserved. And no one, having drunk old wine, immediately desires new, for he says the old is better. There are some concepts about behavior that I want to hastily talk and discuss today, because you know why? We're going into a new season. We're going into the 2023, and we have to be able to make our wrong right according to our behavior. There are a lot of people that, even though it's a New Year's celebration or we're going into they are still burdened and complex and weighted down with the old thoughts of their life and of their day. You see, behavior is the function of a person and their environment. You know, people normally stick to the status quo unless they're forced by a friction or a push towards a path that's opposite of where they are. Basically, people take the path of least resistance and choose most conveniently options that does not challenge them to greater. Resisting change is a real thing. Most people say if it's not broken, don't fix it. Well, today we have to fix some things. The status quo bias, the resisting to change, that's basically what it is. We have to be able to change. The Bible stately says in verse 36, otherwise the new makes a tear, and also the pieces that taking out of the new does not match the old. Are you of a new mindset? Are you trying to do things? Are you making the resolutions? Well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. But your behavior does not line up with your action. And today I want to help you walk into those things, those social, environmental things that will force you to make some right decision on how you are going to conduct yourself. Perhaps you're dealing with obscenity. Perhaps there are there are some impurities in your life, some vices. Perhaps there's some moral conducts of right and wrong that you haven't balanced out. Perhaps there's some sexual immoralities of the things that you're dealing with. There might be some abominations and some things like that. Corrupt thinking, temptation, rebellion, stubbornness, the flesh just wanting to do whatever it wants to do, and you're having a hard time getting good to stay good in your life. There are a lot of things that we can do, but right now I want you to think about, what are my faults? What are my flaws? What are my shortcomings? What are my deficits? What are my limitations? What are my imperfections? This is how you identify the path that you have to take or the things that you have to do. Yeah, for example, I want to lose weight. I can't just talk about it. I just can't go cut the weight off. I just can't take a pill. All those are just path of least resistance that I can do. The resistant part is disciplining myself, come on now, to walk up and walk into the change that has to take place. That means I have to personally do something to bring about change. And it happens when you and I are willing to face our behavior action. We cannot no longer avoid or choose the convenient options of not doing anything. We have to take the path of least resistance. What is the good? Maybe people see goodness in their morality based on what they want. They want excellence, they want harmony, they want pleasure, they want happiness. But are you willing to do or change whatever format in order to ensure and secure those type of things that you want in your life? Well, I'll tell you what, your behavior is contingent on the things that you do and the things that you pursue and the way you act. Your behavior, our behavior. The status quo bias is a real thing. You can look it up for yourself. How do you interact to change? Change is not difficult. I've seen relationships fall apart. I've seen people give up. I've seen people quit whatever jobs or whatever. Why? Because there was change. Your behavior depends on your personal value functioning in the environment, right? That's what most of us think. What I believe, what I receive is basically my relative, but there are my relative concept. Well, there are absolute unchanging laws that govern your situation and is depending on your response. You're functioning in your environment, your physical environment, your sensory element, or your social circles, your external factors. All of those are things to think about in regards to your behavior. Maybe you need to change your physical environment. Maybe you have to be more sensitive to the elements around you and make up your mind that, hey, my behavior is going to change. I am no longer going to be a part of that. Your social circles. Maybe this year you have to change your social your social circles. You run with dogs don't mean that you're going to be ruling like a wolf. It just doesn't happen. You run with dogs, you act like dogs, you live like dogs. Dogs that are not in homes and they're on the streets. Let's look at the wild pack. Sometime in the wild, they do whatever they have to. They will attack, they will eat, they will bite, they will scream, they will growl, they will fight within themselves. Not that I'm calling anything a dog in your life. I'm just using that as an example. If you want to take a look of how those environments, go to National Geographic. Look at the hyenas, how they live in a pack. Ooh, it's a vicious cycle to be in a pack of hyenas, right? So your behavior has to be the type of reaction that is conducive to good and moral choices, right? And these are some of the moral principles that I want you to look at and see if you just put a little check. I'm just naming a few. Are you fair? Are you a fair person? Are you polite? Do you have empathy? Do you steal? Do you tell the truth? Do you treat others the way you want to be treated? Do you help others? Are you a respectable person? Are you proper? Are you a good citizen? These are just some of the morality things that are out there that help you, come on now, in your behavior pattern. If you want to bring about change, like the Bible says in verse 36, and you want to take off the old and bring forth the new, and guess what? So that the new does not match the old. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have to change your behavior. Ooh, I think I have said a lot in a little bit of time for you to think about. We need to live in the absolute, meaning the unchanging, the visible, depending situations of your environment that are governing the good in you. If it's not good, like I said, get rid of it. Get rid of it. The physical, the sensory, the social, the external. That's the only way you're going to progress in this thing called your new day, your new life, your new year. If the old is there, it will not match the new. So you have to take off the old in order to put the new. And no one puts, verse 37, no one puts new wine into old wineskin. Come on now. Or else the new wine will burst the wineskins and be spilled, and the wineskins will be ruined. Wow. I don't want your new to be ruined. I don't want my new to be ruined, my new year. I don't want to put the old into my way of thinking, the way of doing, the way of socially interacting, the way I engage people. Come on now, let's make the change. Let's be the change. Let's not avoid, don't have this thing that we call the fundamental attribution era. Oh, I don't like that. That's when we judge people or their actions. And then we look at ourselves as what we call the actor, observer, symmetry, when we explain our actions away. Come on now. But then we explain our behavior away, but then we're quick to say people have, or people do, or people are just the way they are. We are not just the way we are. There is a behavioral factor, and we cannot avoid those things called temptation. They will come, but our behavior must not succumb to those things that will cause us to be morally unsound and incorrect. Well, thank you for joining me here this morning. This is your life coach with Step-by-Step Life Coaching, Pheonia Laverne. Glad to have you join us live here in Cali, Colombia. We are excited to be able to bring to you a step-by-step aspect of how you are to live your life. We're excited to have in 2023 our options now being open to bring those individuals over to our country here, Cali, Colombia, on their mission assignment to be improved in many aspects of their life. We'll be having a pastor's conference. We'll be having a women's leaders conference. We'll be having a Bible camp for your summer troops. You know, there's so many good things that are going on in Cali, Colombia, and we would love to have you. Please contact me at Step-by-Step Life Coaching Center at Gmail and say, hey, Life Coach, I want to take a look at some of those programs. You can go to our website, stepbysteplifecoachingcenter.com, and see all of the things that we're involved with, helping the needy, helping those that are less fortunate in our community. Thank you once again for joining the Anchor Spotify podcast with Life Coach, Pastor Pheonia Laverne. We're excited to invite you to our upcoming events here in Cali, Colombia. Finding Your Purpose, our Women's Conference, Pastor Wives Conference, our Youth Bible Camp, Divorce Recovery Retreat, Spiritual Warfare 101 Training, Prayer Deliverance Camp, Marriage Restoration, Your Last Chance. We'll be looking forward to you scheduling your mission retreat with us, and we look forward to you having a great day.